I know a lot of times we use one of these canes or dowel rods to work on maybe chest presses with a patient, or you're doing shoulder flexion or that trunk rotation side to side. But I'm going to show you a way that you can do those to really progress the resistance level, to make a real change with strength and overall range of motion. So the first thing we're going to work on is shoulder flexion. So what I did was I took the same cane, took a piece of exercise band and wrapped around this. Now you want to make sure that this is secured on here, or maybe you're going to use those rings, or you buy the dowels that have the hookups. If you don't, you can just take this around, just make sure it's secured. And then I'm going to step on the bottom of this band, and then I'm going to work on raising my arm up here, or arms up in shoulder flexion. Now we've got some added resistance. Now I know a lot of times we put cuff weights. You can put a cuff weight on this to increase the resistance, and that's fine. But again, this is just using a piece of band, because I know that sometimes, especially if you're working in a home health setting, you may not always have the ability to carry, 10, 20 pounds of cuff weights with you in your bag or your backpack, whatever you're bringing around. But you can carry these bands, and they're pretty lightweight, and doesn't take up a lot of room. So that is shoulder flexion. Now I usually have my patients complete 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions. So now let's look at the trunk rotations, where you take that cane, you go side to side, kind of moving the trunk around. So what I did here was I took that band, put it on the end of the cane, and now I'm going to rotate to my left. The band is on my right hand, so the band is on the side that I'm rotating away from. And then I would go the other way, so I'm going to go to my right, just put it onto the other foot, and I'm going to go to the right, and the same way. So I'm working multiple muscle groups of my upper extremities, of my trunk. To complete that, I would perform 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions. Now we're going to perform that chest press movement like this. There are a couple of options here. If you have someone that can hold on to the bands behind you, if you have 2 bands, you can put one on each side. Or if it's just a longer band, you can have someone stand behind you and hold on to that while you press forwards. If not, you can do it the way that I've done it here, just kind of fasten it to both sides. So I'm going to go right here, have this around my back. Again, make sure this is fastened nice and snug. You don't want this coming loose and popping you. And I'm just going to push forwards, and I've got that band around my back, and I'm pushing forwards just like this. And I would complete 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions. But by adding the band to that, you add an ability to truly progress the resistance, where you can actually make a change in the strength instead of just pushing back and forth with no resistance. Now initially, if the patient has a lot of pain, a lot of joint pain, you may not be able to use a band, and that's okay, but I definitely encourage you, at least on those 3 movements, to increase to using a band, and this all can be done from the seated position.